Yeah, man. Top of the world, man. You know I'm back at it with some more of it, man. I had to get on this Steve and Marjore Harvey thing because everybody talking about it. And let me say this. Let me say this. Uh, I went there. I don't know the situation, but I have been around. I've been around for a while, and I'm gonna say this: Steve Harvey ain't leaving Marjorie. Now let me explain to you. Let me explain to you young players and you older players alike. After a while in marriage, and if Steve Harvey and let me break something. Let me go back. There are only 24 hours in a day. That's it. 24. If you're working 14 hours a day, that means you only have 10 other hours to attend to everything else. We're not talking about sleep. We're not talking about uh riding. We're not talking about eating. So in the event that Marjorie did have sex with the bodyguard and then have sex with the personal chef, here's what I want Steve and everybody else to know. You gotta have something else that's stronger than sex that's keeping y'all together. It gotta be stronger than sex. So if she wanted sex, but Steve wasn't available for sex, and these other two gentlemen were, well, first and foremost, she can't get pregnant, and second and thirdly, and she ain't got no disease. And who knows? Did Steve know about it? Now, if he walked in and caught him cheating, I want to know who leaked the information. Who leaked that information? And so, if I was Steve, now if he hired, now if the executive protection wasn't a friend of Steve's, well, you just fired the shit out of him. Well, you fired him anyway. Now if he was a friend, you know what I mean, you leave him alone because as a friend, I would hey man, my friend's wife is off limits. My friend's wife is off limits. Okay. Unless we got an agreement, like, hey man, you may want to, have sex with over time or two, whoop de whoop de whoop. Personal chef. If he's a friend, soon as the advances started, then something should have been said. Now, if Marjorie started the advances. Now, on Marjorie end, if those guys start advancing and talking to you, as it comes to sex, then depending on your sexual loyalty to Steve, because if y'all been together 20 some years, y'all probably like brother and sister. So, ain't nobody too much courting you, and women want attention, and you feel weak. But you know what I mean, down for the crown and something like that. Then you probably should have told Steve, hey, your personal chef tried to come on to me, and the body and the security tried to come on to me sexually. That's how Marjorie should have handled that. If it was out of place, and if it was, everything want to be on the up and up. But I don't know you guys' relationship, because at the end of the day, if he's working all the time, man, a woman gotta hit the same thing you did to get the woman, the same thing you do to keep her. How it starts and how it ends. So I'm explaining to everybody that Steve's not leaving Marjorie. Oh, he got 400 million. He's not leaving Marjorie, and Marjorie ain't leaving him. for the simple fact that before Marjore came into the picture, Steve Harvey wasn't worth uh Steve Harvey wasn't worth no 400 million. He was just a comedian and a radio host. That's it. The moment Marjore comes in, she from Memphis 10. The moment Marjore come in, and not the crust out his eyes, and tighten them on up, that's when he started making money. And I'm gonna say it like this: if he was so happen to get bold enough and try to leave Marjore, his whole empire was gonna crumble. Cause Steve, by himself, won't be able to get those deals. Won't be able to walk in those rooms. Because Steve Harvey, the brand, without Marjore behind him, is not a strong enough brand. Because he was Steve Harvey before. Steve Harvey had hair before. And he couldn't do it. But the moment he got dialed in, she knocked the crust out his eyes, and his first wife, she paid some dues too. She planted some seeds too, but they didn't grow until Marjore came in the picture. So, what I mean? What I'm telling y'all is there's no big deal. Steve's a simp. No, he's not. No, he's not. Okay. Steve is just a man. That's it. Steve is just a man. Steve ain't no higher than nobody. Steve ain't no, these guys got out, these red pill guys talking about he's a simp and he's this, that, and other. And if you compare apples to apples, Steve Harvey blowing them out the water. In every metric you can name. Every metric. If it's money, Steve Harvey got you. Clout, Steve Harvey got you. Steve Harvey's on television and on YouTube and on radio. You just on YouTube. You on TikTok. You understand me? So hopefully they can get past it. Hopefully they sit down and discussed it and talked about it. And they got some things out. Got some things off their chest. Because I don't see Steve Harvey got to be the biggest damn fool to leave Marjore. Got to be the biggest damn fool. And also on Marjore end, Marjore just doing shit around the city of Memphis. So what is Marjore without Steve Harvey? What is Steve Harvey without Marjore? In other words, the same thing they was before they met. And Steve ain't trying to go back to that. And Marjore ain't trying to go back to that. Now Steve's 60 years old trying to get back down to dating market. You 60. Got nothing but money. So I said my piece on that, and I tell y'all again, keep on. Just because you can rent them, but you can't buy them. Just because a person got hundreds of millions of dollars, that does not mean it's gonna keep a woman faithful. Money don't keep women faithful. Okay. And at the end of the day, you been together for so young, y'all go from being lovers to just like being brothers and sisters. So every now and then you may want to go out there and do something else. Now there's nothing that came out about Steve and his slip ups. Maybe he slipped up, maybe he didn't. I don't know. And no woman came out and said nothing about Steve or nothing like that. So with that being said, I'm done. Hopefully they can get past this. So, You know what I mean? So Steve can keep on keeping on, and Marjorie can keep on keeping on. All right, that's it. Thanks for y'all time. Talk to y'all later.